So welcome to this week's tarot reading for the week ahead, our Monday tarot reading. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kaziah Gibbons. My pronouns are she and her, and I teach the Tarot Wisdom course on Insight Timer. For those of you who do know me, welcome back. It's great to see you here. And this tarot reading will be a short tarot reading, just to check in with the energies for the week ahead. So I'll explain to you the spread that we have, and it's just 4 positions, and that feels like enough just now. So those of you who know me, you may have been following my healing journey. I had a knee operation in August, and I'm 9.5 weeks on from that and healing away. So last week I was here and I was very, very happy and excited because I was walking around the house a few steps without crutches, which was a big improvement. This week I've had a little bit of a setback, so I overexerted myself in physio. I tried to do something that I wasn't ready for in physio on Friday, and that kind of knocked me out a bit, tired me, brought in some pain, my body giving me messages telling me to pause and rest myself. So I did listen to that over the weekend. But it got me thinking, and I share my healing journey with you guys, and this is what I have to offer at the moment. So I share it with you in that spirit, because although the circumstances of my specific journey are unique to me, the shape of it isn't necessarily unique, and so the shape of it is what I've taken to inspire me for the spread that we're going to be doing today. So the first position is the big picture. You'll see this big picture frame here that I've drawn on the whiteboard, and so the big picture is just that. So in the example of my healing, I'm still doing a lot better than I was 9 weeks ago. And when I go into the future, which I'm planning to do by quite a long time, and I look back on this time, then I will be able to see that in the big picture, there's still a trend of improvement, even when there were days here and there that were setbacks. So this big picture is about the big picture for whatever's going on for you at the moment, seeing it from that perspective that, we do have ups and downs, which are these 2 positions here, but the big picture is what's important. Those ups and downs will come and go. There will always be days and days. That's life. That's the way life is. But over time, we get to see what the general trend is in whatever it is we're focusing on. So whether you have something specific you're working with at the moment, or if you just like to know what the cards have for you this week in general, this will be the sort of general trend, the big picture, and then what the ups and downs might be. And then there's another position here at the bottom, and it's the foundation. So what is all this built upon? And so the foundation might be, I won't know exactly what this position means until I draw the card, but it's going to be something along the lines of, where is all this coming from? What's supporting all this? What's all this for? And as the card comes out, we'll have more information about that. So that's the spread for you. I'll just invite you before we start, if you're not in my circle on Insight Timer, do come and join that. That's a wonderful place to be, full of lovely people. Many of you who I know are here, so you're very welcome there. And as you know, I have a tarot workshop coming up at the end of November. It's the Magician Manifesting with Tarot. It's a 3-hour workshop on Sunday the 28th, and that will be via Zoom, so it's interactive, and I'm really looking forward to it actually, because I know there's some wonderful stuff in that, and we're going to take a handful of cards and look at their specific potential in manifesting with tarot and using the tarot to manifest. So you'd be very, very welcome to to come onto that as well, and you'll find the link to that in my profile, and also, of course, you'll see there where to book a one-to-one tarot reading if you'd like one. So back to the reading. I've explained to you the spread, so we'll pull some cards, we'll go through them one by one, and then we'll pause and summarise at the end. And I will share the summary as well in my circle, so you'll find that there if you would like to come in and see the summary. So I invite you now to take a deep breath, just going inside. And if there's something specific that you'd like guidance on, you might focus on that. Or it might just be general. I can feel the energy building as everyone takes their deep breaths. And then just set your intention to receive what you need today. And I'm reading this week with the Gentle Tarot, which I don't think I've read for in these Monday tarot readings before. So it's a lovely gentle deck by Marie in the Sky that I wanted to show you, wanted to share with you for this reading. It seemed to be the right one for today. So the first card then, the card for the big picture. What's the big picture this week? And that is, oh, look at that gorgeous card, the Empress. The Empress. So this Empress is a deer, but with antlers. So I don't know the specific type. I believe it may be from North America. But what you see is that she's grazing here in this meadow, and the Empress is a card that can be about the sacred feminine, which of course is accessible to anybody of any gender, and is really a very gentle card. It's about nurturing. So being in this position of the big picture, it may be that nurturing is important this week, that nurturing is what to focus on. And that actually, whatever your big picture is, whatever it is that you're working through at the moment, this Empress is an ally. So the Empress is there, ready to support us in being nurtured, in accessing nurturing energy. And so when we zoom out, when we go forwards in time and we look back on this week or this particular time period in terms of our personal development, our life development, we may discover that actually this was a time of nurturing. And so Mia, as you say, taking care of ourselves and others, this is an invitation here to prioritize that, and that whatever it is that you are working with, it's okay to bring that nurturing, that gentle energy in, and that is in alignment with the big picture, that is in alignment with whatever it is that you are putting your energy towards in your life right now. Now, the Empress is also a creative energy. Empresses create, and very, very much about the earth and the land. So maybe for all of us, whatever it is that we're working with, whatever we are creating or maintaining at the moment, then we have this invitation to align that with what we're all facing as a world at the moment. How do we care for our earth in a way that is sustainable is the word, isn't it? The buzzword, but perhaps reciprocal, or perhaps just fair would be the word for it. So how do you, whatever you're working with, whatever you're creating, whatever you're manifesting at the moment, how are you aligning that with the earth, with nature, with the fact that we are all, that we are kin with all beings on this planet. And Christy, you're asking, does she also bring a spirit of abundance? Yes, absolutely. So there is plenty. There is plenty this week. There's no wanting at all. So again, whatever's happening this week, in the big picture, when you look back on this time period, you'll discover that actually, there was plenty. There always was. So if that's something that you don't find easy to believe, to accept, then here's a little invitation to start to believe and accept that now. And so it's a card which is a blessing. This is a blessing on whatever your project, whatever's coming in, whatever it is that you're working with or through at the moment, then the Empress gives a blessing to that. So that's a lovely energy to have to start with, to begin with. So I'll place that there in the big picture. Okay. So next we've got ups and downs. So I might draw these two cards at the same time and read them together just to see how they go together, how they work together. And of course it'll be interesting to see both of them there with the Empress. So our ups this week are the Devil. So that is interesting. I'll talk about that in a moment. Let's just find out what the downs are in that case. The Hermit. Okay, this is really interesting to have these two in that position of ups as the Devil and downs as the Hermit. So firstly, I noticed that all three cards that have come out today were Major Arcana cards. And I mentioned as we were taking a deep breath together at the beginning, I could feel the energy, and I wonder if this is the energy that I could feel, because we've got these Major Arcana cards all coming together to work with us this week. So for the ups, being the Devil is often about stuck patterns, so often stuck thought or behaviour patterns, stuck beliefs that are not serving us so much. And in this deck, you've got a person actually holding a chain. So they're not chained up, they're holding a chain. And so that gives a little bit of agency. The chains are those patterns that get stuck. So what are we stuck believing? What habit are we stuck repeating? What pattern do we get stuck into? Whether that is a personal pattern or a societal pattern, of course, because we can all get sucked into those, can't we? So the Devil, for me, is always a card of agency, and those of you who've done my Tarot Wisdom course will know I speak about it in some depth there, and my own personal journey with the Devil, because the Devil is one of my favourite cards, but very much about agency. So as soon as you realise you're stuck in a pattern, then you can start to unravel that pattern, or to choose whether to stay in that pattern. I was talking earlier in a workshop that I was giving about how sometimes we do choose to stay with things that may seem burdensome. But when we take time to go into why are we making that choice, it may be because there's a reason for that is important to us, perhaps we're taking on a responsibility, perhaps it aligns with our values in some way. So understanding our patterns is really, really important with the Devil card, and I'll come back to that in a moment in seeing how it works together with the Hermit, but I'm just going to place that here for now. So if the Devil is our ups this week, then how is the Hermit our downs? So the Hermit here, you can see it's this beautiful card with the fox curled up right in the centre, and looks like actually curled up in the center of the stars. And so we get that the Hermit is actually quite a spiritual card, as all of the major arcanas are, arguably all of the tarots, but the Hermit in particular is a seeker. The Hermit goes inwards in a search for the truth, and the presence of all the stars around the fox, around the Hermit in this card indicate that when we go inwards to seek for the truth, the entire cosmos, the entire universe is with us and supports that. We can get in touch with the entire cosmos from the inside, or perhaps through the inside. The Hermit is also, or can also be, a card of rest. So, or if not rest, pausing, taking a break, coming out of normal routine, stopping, stillness, all of those things. So I wonder then if the ups and downs, perhaps any downs that do happen this week, are there for us to remind us to go inside and access that inside. So, if something stops you in your tracks this week, it may be a blessing in disguise, and the blessing of that may be an invitation to go deep here, to go inside, and to get in touch with your truth and the truth of the cosmos through that going inside. So if you find yourself stopped in your tracks this week, then it may be that the Hermit is giving you an invitation. And if that being stopped in your tracks is not comfortable, it may be because the devil is also at play as well. So it may be that we experience things wonky. So the devil, those stuck patterns, any stuck patterns that we might be in, they might do something for us, they might be pleasurable. The devil is the card, amongst other things, of addictions and also very sort of immediate pleasures. So sometimes with the devil, we're having a good time just now with this pattern that the devil indicates, and that is not good for us in the long term in some way. So notice this week with these two cards, the devil in the ups and the hermits in the downs, actually the things that seem fun, just check in that you're doing them because you are getting something out of them, and not because it's a habit or a pattern or a stuck way of this is the only way that I know how to access that fun or that pleasure, because there will be other ways to access fun and pleasure as well that you maybe can't find if you're stuck in one particular habit, one particular pattern of accessing fun and pleasure. So the devil brings that question to us, and then the Hermit is telling us that anything that does seem to stop us in our tracks this week is something that is an invitation for us to go deeper. So it might be a blessing in disguise. So that's what I see in those two cards together. Tilia, you're saying even the bad patterns and coping mechanisms, or the devil, is there to protect us. They're not inherently bad, although they might not always be the best choices for us. Yeah, absolutely. So these patterns, they always have a purpose. Everything we do, and thoughts and emotions, I'm classifying as something that we do. It's a behavior that happens inside ourselves. So thoughts, emotions, behaviors, all of these things always have a positive intention for us, often at an unconscious level. And so whether that is a positive intention of, safety, security, pleasure, acceptance, connection, whatever that positive intention is, sometimes the ways that we go about fulfilling that positive intention can get a bit skewed. And so that's what the devil has to tell us. So just be aware of these two cards as you do go through the ups and downs of the week. There will be days and days, and so notice which of those days are devil days and which are hermit days, And those coming up in those positions, perhaps the other way around than you might expect, are a reminder to just check our own programming, our own patterning. And then the final card then is foundation. So our foundation this week, let's have a look what's coming up. Oh, wonderful. It's the Harvest of Cups, which is also the King of Cups in other systems. So this is beautiful. We've got this wonderful rainbow there. The rainbow, well, it's a piece of magic, isn't it? It's a reminder every time you see a rainbow, well, I can't speak for anyone else, but I know for myself, I imagine it's true of others. When I see a rainbow, I just do get that moment of awe and stopping in my tracks, and just as the Hermit was doing for us actually, and just being in awe at the universe. So remember to have awe this week. Remember to allow yourself to experience awe this week. And then we have here, and again, I think I might be about to get this animal wrong, but I think that this is a goat on the mountain. And so we have the ideas of the sacred mountain that we have in many, many different places. And the goat is agile. The goat can navigate all sorts of terrain, which the King of Cups has that ability to navigate emotions, matters of the heart, things that are tricky, and to navigate them well. And how does the King of Cups do this? I often think of the King of Cups as the Insight Timer card, partly because of the bowl, which is in the logo of Insight Timer. Partly, of course, because of all the amazing meditations and energy work that allow people to access their inner King of Cups. And so the King of Cups accesses their ability to navigate and negotiate all of the emotions, not by blocking off the unpleasant ones, not by indulging in any of these patterns that might not be so useful, but actually by really going into them and having a full experience. And so the King of Cups approach can be meditative, can be about energy work. I often also associate particularly the King of Cups with work such as Reiki or other energy work. So the approach is to come from a place of equanimity in the heart. So this means really knowing your emotions, trusting yourself within your emotions. So, accepting that some of those emotions won't be pleasant. Some of them will call out for an immediate resolution that you may not be able to give. Same with the emotions of the people around you, but still finding that place of peace within your heart. And when you come from a place of peace within your heart, then everything gets much easier to navigate. So looking at these 4 cards together, I would say that the foundation there of the King of Cups reminds us that really this week and how this week goes is all about how we approach it. It's a lovely pairing, actually, the King of Cups and the Empress together, because they're both very gentle approaches. They can both be powerful, they can both be extremely transformational, but they're not sudden. These are gentle approaches, and they come from being grounded in what's important. So we have themes there of love and groundedness, really holding us through the ups and downs of the week. So I love seeing this pairing together. And I like that one is looking one way and one is looking the other way, as well, as if they're looking out for us in all directions. And then the devil and the hermit there in the center, a reminder that yes, you will have ups and downs. You may want to invite yourself to explore whether your framing of the ups and downs is a framing that continues to work for you, or if it's a habitual framing. And if you have an invitation to go inside, to get in touch with cosmic learning, shall we say, then take that invitation. It's there, it's available to you for a reason. And the big picture, the Empress. So this is really a time, there is plenty. You're not actually wanting for anything at this moment. And this is a time to be nurturing in your approach for yourself and for others, because this is part of the journey. Whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're creating, whatever you are maintaining, it's part of the journey for you to also nurture yourself and to nurture that. So your expectations of yourself, your achievements can be gentle ones, and you can still achieve. So that's the reading for the week. The deck is the Gentle Tarot by Marie in the Sky. Got the box for it here as well, so you can see that. And it's a lovely, beautiful deck actually that I'm just getting to know, and getting to like more and more as I get to know it. But if you go to Marie's page, I'm sure you'll find more about the deck and more depth, because it is a new one to me. So I will summarize that in my circle on Insight Timer. You're very welcome to come there. And I hope to see you next week, 3 o'clock British summertime, or 3 o'clock London time, Lisbon time, on a Monday, every Monday. My circle on Insight Timer is called Kaziah's Circle. And you're also welcome in any of my course classrooms, any of the live workshops, wherever you'd like to be.